Hey, welcome to World Code Updates. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. Headlines flash worldwide. Chinese Coast Guard uses water cannons on a Philippine ship. Manila protests. U.S. warships sail near disputed shoals. The South China Sea, vital for global trade, is now a theater of tension. China claims almost the entire sea, a claim rejected by an international tribunal. The Philippines, with its long coastline, is on the front line, defending its rights against a far larger neighbor. Philippine fishing boats, once unbothered, now face routine harassment by Chinese vessels. These are not simple fishing disputes, but calculated moves to assert control. The tension reverberates from Palawan's fishing villages to Manila's halls of power. The world watches, knowing a single miscalculation could ignite a conflict with global consequences. Recently, a Philippine mission to resupply Marines at Second Thomas Shoal was blocked by swarming Chinese vessels. These incidents are more frequent, more aggressive, a clear signal from Beijing: we are in control. For the Philippines, this is a fight for sovereignty and identity. The South China Sea is more than water. It's a global artery and a potential flashpoint. The clock is ticking, and the stakes for peace in the Indo-Pacific could not be higher. In Beijing, officials see the Philippines' actions as deliberate provocations. Chinese state media now accuse Manila of importing a NATO-style alliance into Asia. They claim the Philippines is working with the US and others to contain China, sacrificing regional stability for Western interests. Beijing frames itself as the victim, insisting disputes should be resolved regionally, not with outside interference. The NATO comparison is strategic, evoking Cold War fears and warning Southeast Asia against following Manila's path. The Philippines pushes back. President Marcos Jr. insists their goals are peaceful, not aggressive. Manila says it's exercising its right to partnerships for self-defense, not building a military bloc. "We are not provoking conflict," says the Philippine Secretary of Defense. "We're upholding international law and a stable, rules-based order." These partnerships, Manila argues, are about collective security, not a formal alliance. The real source of instability, they say, is China's island building and harassment of Philippine vessels. For the Philippines, these agreements are insurance, a way to level the playing field. The message to Beijing: we will not be intimidated, and we are not alone. The region faces a choice: division and conflict, or cooperation and security. The Philippines is building a robust network of security partnerships. At its core is the Mutual Defense Treaty with the US, now revitalized with larger joint exercises. The US has pledged that an armed attack on Philippine forces in the South China Sea would trigger its defense commitments. Beyond the US, Manila is deepening ties with Australia and Japan, enabling joint training and rapid deployment. European powers, UK, France, Germany, are increasing their naval presence, signaling global concern for freedom of navigation. These partnerships create a web of cooperation, intelligence sharing, joint exercises, and capacity building. Even New Zealand and Canada are strengthening defense ties with Manila. Each agreement adds another thread to this growing network. It's a deliberate strategy. The Philippines is ensuring it has partners as it faces a powerful and assertive China. The new security architecture is reshaping the Indo-Pacific balance. China's fear of a NATO of the East is both strategic and a propaganda tool. Experts say Beijing prefers one-on-one negotiations, where it holds the upper hand. But a coalition, especially with US and Japan, erodes that advantage. Unlike NATO's Article 5, these alliances don't guarantee automatic defense, but they enable joint operations and rapid response. For Beijing, the distinction is academic. More advanced militaries are operating near its coast, complicating its planning. Dr. Evelyn Tran notes, whether formal or flexible, these partnerships force China to consider multiple adversaries in any conflict. For the US and Europe, supporting the Philippines is about defending a rules-based order. If a large country can ignore international law and bully smaller neighbors, it sets a dangerous global precedent. By backing Manila, they reinforce that borders and sovereignty can't be changed by force. The coalition is a stand for stability and predictable rules. For China, it's a challenge to its regional ambitions. For the world, it's a test of whether collective action can deter aggression. The stakes are global, not just regional. These defense agreements have real, tangible effects. Joint military exercises have surged. Thousands of foreign troops now train in the Philippines each year. Drills like Balikatan focus on high-intensity scenarios, amphibious landings, maritime security, air defense. Under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, U.S. equipment and supplies are pre-positioned at Philippine bases, speeding up crisis response. This boosts the armed forces of the Philippines, transforming them from an internal security force to one capable of defending maritime borders. Training with U.S., Australian, and Japanese forces brings advanced tactics and technology. A more capable Philippine military strengthens regional security, contributing to surveillance, disaster relief, and counter-piracy. By improving its own defense, the Philippines also strengthens Southeast Asia's collective security. These partnerships help keep vital sea lanes open for global trade. The boots on the ground in the Philippines are helping guard the stability of the entire Indo-Pacific. The impact is felt far beyond Manila's shores. For the Philippines, these alliances bring immediate strategic benefits. Facing China's gray zone tactics, Manila needs more than diplomatic protests, it needs credible deterrence. The presence of U.S. and allied forces raises the cost of aggression, giving the Philippines breathing room. Modernization is underway. New frigates, fighter jets, and missile systems are arriving. Training and technical assistance from allies help integrate these assets into a cohesive defense. A stronger Philippines makes it harder for any power to dominate regional waterways. Neighboring countries are watching, seeing a model for balancing against larger powers. Ultimately, these alliances are about preserving sovereignty and choice. Manila is asserting its agency, showing smaller nations don't have to accept dictates from larger ones. This stand for a rules-based order is the foundation for long-term security and prosperity. Tensions in the South China Sea are linked to another flashpoint, Taiwan. The Philippines' proximity to Taiwan makes it strategically vital. The Bashi Channel is a key military and commercial route. Bases in northern Philippines could be crucial for surveillance and logistics in a crisis. Both the Philippines and Taiwan face pressure from Beijing and look to the U.S. for support. While there are no formal defense ties, their security fates are intertwined. A crisis in the Taiwan Strait would spill over to the Philippines, and vice versa. Strengthening Philippine defenses contributes to regional deterrence. Allied forces operating from Philippine territory complicate any Chinese plans for Taiwan. The world watches both Second Thomas Shoal and the Bashi Channel with concern. These are two fronts in the same strategic drama. The stakes for regional security have never been higher. Military displays from China and the U.S. are escalating. China's Air Force flies nuclear-capable bombers over the South China Sea, projecting power and sending a clear signal. Slick videos flood Chinese social media, stoking nationalism and intimidating rivals. The U.S. responds. A nuclear-powered submarine makes a rare, public port call in the Philippines. U.S. warships conduct freedom of navigation operations, directly challenging China's claims. These tit-for-tat displays raise the risk of miscalculation. One wrong move could spark a crisis. Each side is testing the other's red lines, pushing boundaries at sea and in the air. The environment is perilous, with peace hanging by a thread. The world is reminded daily how fragile stability is in this vital region. The high-stakes game continues, with no clear end in sight. The Indo-Pacific stands at a crossroads, towards stability or confrontation. The Philippines' alliance network is a gamble. Will it deter China or provoke escalation? The hope is for a stable equilibrium, where disputes are managed by diplomacy, not force. But Beijing may see these moves as threats, responding with more aggression or economic pressure. This is the classic security dilemma. Defensive action seen as offensive, making everyone less secure. Both sides are waging an information war, shaping global perceptions. The Philippines and allies highlight China's disregard for law. China accuses the West of meddling. The future depends on choices in Manila, Beijing, and Washington. This could be the foundation for lasting peace, or the spark for a new era of great power rivalry. The story unfolding in the South China Sea will define the 21st century.